Hey guys, today I'm going to share with you a couple of houses that we owned before I started doing YouTube. Okay guys, so this is how the story goes. We lived in this little house and I called it the Freckled House. And it's not more than about little over 1,300 square feet. Well, this house across the street came up for sale and we were looking for a home for my mother-in-law, a one level, and get her moved in. Now, although this house don't look that big, it had over 2,600 square feet, and she didn't like it. She said it was too big. So we bought this one, and she bought ours. So that way, when I cooked a meal, we just crossed over the street, called it Meals on Heels, and took her a plate every time we cooked. Hey guys, keep in mind these are not the best quality pictures. I got them off the internet. So this is just a gate going on to the side. It had a lamppost there on it, just beautiful. The grounds to this place was just absolutely beautiful. You can see all the little lampposts. There's one sitting there. Very private. Wherever you looked, and the other sidewalk that went around from the front of the house leads to a covered porch. The covered porch had a fireplace, lots of room for plenty of furniture, and a lot of times it got moved around, especially if there was a fire, scooting your chair up close to the fire and sitting out there and really enjoying it. On the outside, there was a little shelf put there. I think eventually I put some pottery up there and just lots of landscaping. Now guys, we loved this place, but it just literally worked us to death. So I think there was a total of 4 to 5 lamp posts and lots of little pathway lighting, and you'll see some of that coming up. There was a little grill area, and Mr. Fix-It had put a bench there that he had redone. It looks really nice there. And looking from the back of the yard over to the covered porch, I had a little fern hanging there from that tree, and I just loved the wrought iron fencing. And then if you turn around and look at the backyard and the way everything is placed, it's so private. You see nothing around you, and people don't see in the backyard. Now, in the wintertime, that's a different story. Now, I think eventually we did put some lawn furniture out here. And then this is the front entrance. This was the foyer. And that's the table that Mr. Fix-It had made that I had sitting there. And I had got a lot of a primitive style that went in this home. And then from the foyer, you're looking into the formal living room. And then there's a little hallway there to the left. Now, on the left of this little hallway, there's a little small bedroom. And then there was my daughter's room while she was a teenager. And then looking back, that is the garage door at the foyer. When you come in the front door, and this led out to the garage on one side. There was 2 doors into the garage. And then this little room, I just had my sewing machine, a chair, a nightstand, and a guest bed. And that's all I had in there. The bedrooms were carpeted, the 2 front bedrooms. And then this was the front bathroom for the front of the house there off the hallway. And then this was my daughter's high school room. She wanted some color. She added some color, and it is pretty bright and bold, but that's what she liked. Okay, going into the formal living room. Nothing really matched here, guys. There was a curio, just, some odds and ends, from moving from one house to another, from moving a small house to a large house. There was built-ins on each side of the fireplace here, and plenty of little alcoves above for storing, or lots of, this is actually before I got into a whole lot of decorating. And then this was the ceiling and light fixture there in the formal living room. So lots of shelves and lots of built-ins there. And I really didn't start my YouTube channel until we moved from this house and we moved to Meadow Hill. And that's how my YouTube channel got its name, Farmhouse at Meadow Hill. Now this was the formal, more like a formal dining room, guys. I tried to keep it as country as I could. The floors were beautiful. This is when I bought my farmhouse style table and chairs. And we were talking about some other furniture, but we didn't stay in this house very long. We were there about 18 months and just decided that this was just too much for us. And I was sort of begging for my little house back, where it would take a good 8 hours to clean these hardwood floors. Now there was a little half bath off of the dining room here, and it was in tile, painted a light blue. And I didn't change any of the wall colors when I moved in. I did like the pale yellow, and it really went with all of the white trim. And then that is a little sitting area where we just had a recliner, a couple of recliners in there, and that's where we mainly watched TV. And then there was a little desk there on the left. Lots of windows, lots of lights. Now you can see that I have my braided rugs here. I did soften them a little bit, and this is that bathroom. Some of these pictures aren't great, guys. I took them off of the internet, and yes, they did use 92 photographs to sell our home. This was the little sunroom, lots of windows. You'll see the ceiling here in a minute. This is when I got my rockers and put them in there, and just added some little country cushions and some red plaid spread over a table, my quilts. And you're going to see this desk. Now, when I worked for Amazon and I worked at home, that's where I worked. I worked 10 hours at that desk. And so that was my work area. That was a built-in there on the left. All of the shelves, that was all built in oak. And then off the little sitting room and the dining room, here is the kitchen. Now, guys, you're going to notice there is no upper cabinets. No upper cabinets. The little lighted pantry there, I did love that. There was 2 pantries, and I loved the lighted one. And then, nothing great. I mean, I think it was, I'm not sure what kind of countertops. It wasn't a quartz or granite, but hardwood floors in the kitchen. And then on the right is the little lighted pantry with frosted glass, 2 double doors. And then this was just a little kitchen nook, and this is where Mr. Fix-It built my hutch, and you can see the color on it, and it is been painted white. And then there on the right, that is a walk-in pantry with a pocket door. And the door on the left is a little, oh, I called it a coffee room. And then there's the two double doors there on the left of the table that go out to the covered patio porch with the fireplace. Most of the lights were what you called the stained glass. This is the little coffee room. It had just one of those little mini sinks, and microwave was also in there. Trash can was in there. And this door on the left of this trash can went out to the garage. And you'll see that in just a moment. But beadboard, very country. And so, you know, we just loved this home. And we loved this little room. It sort of separated it away from everything. And then the bar stools, when I purchased those, I covered them with the green plaid, and I covered those. And then there's my Mr. Rooster back there. There's the original color that he was, like a bronze color, and he got painted white. And we were just here about not even 2 years and decided to put it up for sale. Lots of trim in this home, beautiful. And then this is just showing the chairs. The realtor actually put those up on her site and sold those for me when we moved, because I wouldn't be taking those with us. Now this is the master bedroom. This is a very huge room, and that is the king-size bed that we have now and the 2 nightstands. And then lots of little alcoves up at the top. She had a lot of baskets, but I never did get to that. And then that was a TV armoire there on the very left of the picture. And that was a cedar chest from my mother-in-law. I no longer have it. I didn't keep it. I think I gave it to one of his sisters. And that was his old Lincoln rocker. And then hardwood floors throughout here. And then this is the master bath. That's looking into the bedroom. And it had lots of cabinet and drawer space. And the 2 little doors that open go into just a little commode area. The only thing in there was a commode and a toilet paper holder on the wall. That was it. This was one of my favorite spots, and I did love this little area here. I would sit there and put my makeup on, do my hair, and in those drawers was plugs built in for your curling iron and for your blow dryer, so it was very nice. A frosted window up there for privacy, and I used this tub a lot, and Mr. Fix-It loved the shower, so there was a walk-in shower. You'll see that here in a minute. I did love all of the trim, and throughout this house it was just beautiful. It was gorgeous. Loved all the beadboard. Now there is the little shower area in the round door, and then you see another door there on the right past my makeup area, and that led to a little hallway. That hallway led to the left, and to the left was the laundry room, and then to the right of it was a huge walk-in closet with built-ins, and you'll see that in just a moment. And this is just the little double door for the bathroom area in here. It's just, they only took a picture of my side of the closet. I'm not sure why, but this was my side of the closet, and those were all built in and very nice. And then on the other side of this wall is the laundry room. Wasn't a real big area. I mean, you plenty of room to work in and hang things up, and a little folding area. And I didn't have it decorated too nice, but you know, it's a laundry room. It looked functional. And then this was that door I said that came out of that little coffee room area that had the long little window there. This came out into the garage. And then there was a window. It had a couple of windows in it. But to look at the house from the front, it didn't look that big, but it was about 2,600 plus square feet. And like I said, I mean, the landscaping was just beautiful, was awesome, but no sooner than you would work in one area, another area needed attention. It was a constant watering, pulling weeds, trimming, and working full time. Both my husband and I found it a little overwhelming, so we decided to put it up for sale, and I wanted my small house back, and that's when we moved to Meadow Hill. Now, Meadow Hill, I did love that home. It was the perfect home, just in the wrong location. This is the back of the house, and those windows, the first set of windows there on the left is to the sitting room, and then all of the other windows there was the sunroom, and far right is the bedroom. Lots of landscaping all the way around. Lots of privacy. You know, you could be in your backyard and nobody would even know you were back there. So all of the little trees, I think I had counted that there was 31 dogwood trees alone. Yes, I said 31. And this is some of the landscaping in the back. I love the big blue spruce tree. Wasn't a whole lot of mowing, but there was a lot of other stuff to do. Now this little shed, it was two parts. This is the front side, and it had just a tiny little porch. And I think this is where Mr. Fix-It got shed-itis. So anyway, he did love this little shed. And then around in the back, there was like double doors that you could pull. You could put your riding mower in. There was a little side door, you know, if you wanted to grab some rakes and things like that. I don't think I have a picture of the actual inside. And then on the other side of this building was actually a little walkway for the Herbie Kirby's. I don't know if anybody else calls your trash cans Herbie Kirby's, but that's what we call them here in this area. So anyway, this is looking from back at the shed toward the house. And there was a sidewalk that goes all the way back to the shed and even to around the back of the shed. And it was just landscaped immaculately, so pretty. Something was always in bloom here. This was one of my favorite areas here in this home, and that was the double swings. Grab a book and a drink and head out there. Now that screen that went across the pergola, we would take that down in the wintertime and then bring it back out in the spring. The roses bloomed all summer, and just beautiful, beautiful. And then that was the double gate there. Now, this is the little area coming from around the front. And I love the wrought iron fence. And this was some phlox that was blooming. And that was a huge holly tree right behind that. And then here is some more views. I think the sun was going down and the shadows were coming across the yard, and very pretty in the spring. And this little area here, my daughter wanted to do, she's seen something on Pinterest, and you can see the dogwoods. It's spring that's blooming. Like I said, 31 dogwoods throughout this property. And this was something she's seen on Pinterest she wanted to do, and I think it turned out beautiful. The lanterns and the pathway lights were always beautiful just at the evening. And you'll see the garden hose out because I was constantly watering plants, constantly watering, trimming, pulling weeds. And at the very back of the property was this, what do you call it, like a pergola, and it had grapevines all over it. And I don't know that we seen any grapes while we were there, but I did love that area back there. And this was a little area where I had suckered out the trees a little bit for some light, and lots of hostas and impatiens and ferns and just all kinds of flowers. And this is what the lampposts look like. And there is my flag. I take my flagpole with me everywhere I go. I haven't put it up here yet. Some clematis, ferns, lots of ferns. And then here was that little area that after the flowers had bloomed up a little, that my daughter had done, that we worked on together, and I think it turned out beautiful. Put some little marigolds in there and some rocks. This is the front of the house, and it had two flower boxes that I had put greenery in, and I loved all of the rose bushes, and this one was just stunning that year. This was sort of like a little cabbage rose bush that came up on the front corner of the lawn, and I just adored it. And right beside that was a lilac bush. And sometimes that lilac bush would be so strong. And then here's just another view of the shed and some of the flowers that's in bloom. Looks like it's summertime in this picture. And then here's another evening shot of some of the pathway lanterns that's on. And some of the flowers that's in bloom. But nothing about this yard really matched, but that's what we love most about it, is that around every curve, around every corner, you were looking at something different. And then this little pathway is from the back side of the shed that goes around to the front, to the sidewalk, and it has a little lantern there also. And this was just a little sitting bench there under the big shade tree. And like I said, more roses and more roses would bloom and beautiful. And I just think it's beautiful in this wrought iron black fence. and another lantern lamppost. So guys, when we sold that beautiful home, we moved here on Meadow Hill, and from Meadow Hill, I started my YouTube channel, and you know the rest of the story. Thanks for being here, guys. I'll see you in my next one.